Hey Taedars, you guys. So let me give you the full update on what is going on with Tay. So let's start off with, oh girl, what is going on? Let's start off with the fact that I am now in recovery. I am full blown into the phase of a CPM machine every every 4 hours. What that is, sorry you guys, I'm kind of uploading right now, is I have to be in this machine that basically moves my legs back and forth, and gets the circulation going and getting the movement going so that I'll have full function for when I do PT. So now my PT doesn't start until next week. So I'll end up starting that and getting that squared away. But let's just talk about CPM. So this CPM machine is really, really nice. It's great. It's fantastic. The negative thing about it is the fact that I basically am in it and sitting there. So like you need to devote 4 hours of your day to literally sitting in a machine strapped in and doing nothing. So that could be things where you're watching a movie or just chilling out. But for me, I have a toddler, so that's a little bit different. So I have my husband who is here for 2 weeks to help me out. I'm hoping that the 2 weeks is good enough because that's how much it was the last time. So we'll see how that goes. But having a toddler and being stuck in the CPM machine is totally different. So she's crawling on you. She's wanting to get into the CPM machine. She wants to play around. I'm nursing her while I'm in this thing. Like it's a whole debacle. But I need to be in it in order for that circulation to keep going and the movement to keep going as well. Because I'm doing some walking around with the crutches, but I'm not doing like loads and loads. But I will be sooner here and out. But so that's the CPM machine. So I had to change my area where I was at because it's getting dark outside. Doesn't look that way, but it's getting dark. And so let's talk about how it's different this time and like what's different about it. So this time I was super nauseated after my surgery. I guess the anesthesia and the like massive amount of pain meds that I got this time made me super nauseous. So I had to take a lot of nausea medicine to keep that down, and I kind of felt super groggy and totally out of place. So that was that. Also, so I had said something about like the numbing. So he had numbed the bone while he was doing the surgery. And with that, I was numb, and I think it's today is Thursday. So, and I got it done on last Friday. So I finally can feel my leg now. And it's still swollen, it's red, I've got bruises on it, the whole shebang. So that's that. And then also I think because this isn't my dominant leg, it seems to be a lot more like loosey-goosey, like kind of everywhere and all over the place. So I'm kind of excited to get the brace again so I can keep it kind of structured and not so like everywhere. Let's see, what else is different about it? I think that the amount of time it took for me to feel kind of throws me off as well. I don't think that was really, it was okay, but it was just kind of like, I don't like that out of body kind of thing. Like I want to be able to feel some things that is going on with my body, and it's not like, I like being in control, let's just say. and I don't like not knowing when this stuff is going to wear off and whatnot, because I don't really remember it being shared, or I was just too out of it for it to be shared. And also like the spasming. So I've been having like sporadic spasming in my leg, and it's been pretty painful, especially last night. Like right after I got off of the CPM machine, my leg like started like freaking out. So that was pretty rough. We ended up icing afterwards, and that's what's recommended. Like once you get out of the CPM machine, you need to be icing it. Like you also need to be icing it what about like 3 or 4 times throughout the day, making sure that you're keeping the swelling down and things like that. But the spasming was different. I didn't have that the first time, and I kind of did some research on it, and it was saying that it's normal, you know, and it does happen more at night. So I think I'm going to change my routine for CPMs during the day instead of nights, and especially with just because we're starting to like get our low-key day, you know, day's almost done. Layla's, you know, ready to be like cuddled up and just sitting back and playing like low-key games and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that again. I'll do it more during the day. So hopefully that fix some of the spasming, but I think it's just the normal stuff you get after you do this type of surgery. So I think another thing that has been helping is the way I've been sleeping. So the last time I did, I think, what was it, like 3 or 4 days, I slept on the couch. And I think I'm kind of doing the same thing here again, but I'm more comfortable on the couch due to it being lower, it not being so elevated, and having to worry about picking my leg up and just kind of stretching it out. My couch is kind of like on the ground a little bit, so it's a lot nicer to get in and out if I have to use the restroom or something like that. Basically propping my, like laying straight out, and then placing a pillow underneath of the spot where my knee is, like underneath of it, and keeping it kind of elevated, but also keeping it in that position where it's kind of like that in a sense. And that's been helping a lot. The only thing is if you're doing it that way, you have to basically stay like that the whole night. And I don't know if you sleep on if you're a person who sleeps on their back or you sleep on your stomach. I sleep on my side. So what I've been doing and what I did last time was I take the pillow, stick the pillow in between my legs, and then I sleep that way. So that to me is a lot easier and a lot more comfortable for me. But either way you're sleeping, you just need to make sure that your leg is not just flat, because when you wake up in the morning and your leg is flat, it is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt your back as well. So I wouldn't lay that way at all, because you just don't want to feel that way after you've just had your bone shaved off. Like, you just don't want that. So just don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Put the pillow underneath of it and get some relief. So again, this time I didn't take any of the pain pills that were prescribed. I'm not going to. The last time I didn't as well, so I wasn't going to take it this time also. So the only thing I'm taking is an inflammatory, basically, and a pill to help with, to make sure that the bone doesn't grow back out. So I'm making sure to take those. I take it morning, and then I take one in the morning, and then I take it again at night. Take both of them. So I'm making sure that I take those. I actually didn't take the pill for the bone growth the last time. I did some research on it and things like that, because as you know, I'm breastfeeding. So I did some research on it, and I just kind of made sure that it was still okay to nurse on it and things like that. So that was my choice last time. And now I know more about it and whatnot, and I'm okay with only just taking both of them now. So so that was something I needed to learn up on and whatnot, and I already talked about it in the other videos, but so that's that. Not taking anything, not going to. If I can get through childbirth, I can get through a shaved bone, right? So that was my logic, at least, anyways. So I think that I'm just gonna continue to do that. I am not gonna lie, when the spasms hit, y'all, like, I thought I was going to take a pain pill, but I was like, I can get through it. I'm going to ice this sucker and just do that, and it'll be a-okay. So another thing that I wanted to throw out was, with this surgery, you know, you get scrubbed down for like the betadine and things like that, and whatnot. If you have a shellfish allergy, you need to make sure that they have a substitute for that. That was shared and in my file the last time that I had the other surgery done. Well, that was used. Betadine was used, and I now have hives on my stomach and down my leg, and where the incision and stuff like that is. So I'm not only dealing with the recovering from the surgery, I'm also itchy. And so I'm basically kind of sucking it up a little bit. I had to wait for the doctor and wait for like a whole bunch of other stuff to happen in order for me to get what I needed to get so that I would be fine and be okay. It sucks. Like, I've had this issue before, but with a completely different surgery. So I'm just a little peeved because I shared that, and I don't think anybody should have to suffer being itchy and having hives when you just had your bone shaved on your leg. So that's a conversation my doctor and I will have. But everything else went perfectly fine. It looks great. So I had talked about the cyst. We'll talk about it on the 4th, and see, you know, how that all goes. So let's talk toddler and recovery. If you don't have a child or anything like that, then, you know, you've got someone who's going to be taking care and whatnot. This journey may be a little bit smoother and a little bit, you know, nothing too crazy, but I have a toddler, and she is now 1 year old, and she is, you know, amazing in every way, but she's also wanting to be picked up and wanting to climb all over me and things like that, and which is fine, you know, that's a-okay, but I just had a surgery on my hip, so it makes it a little rough, especially with her hitting it over and over again. She hits it, and I try and keep her from it, and it's like a shooting pain up your leg and down your back when she hits you. And I think that it's just gonna come with the territory, especially with having her. I'm not gonna keep her from being on me for 2 weeks. It's not gonna happen. And I wouldn't want to do that anyways. But it's very challenging with having her crawling all over you and loving on you, which is amazing and never difficult, but it's a journey for sure. And I think that having a little one and having this surgery, you're going to be on the crutches, so it's really hard to make sure that you're, you know, balancing mom and, you know, daughter, kind of making sure that's balanced out and still good, and making sure that you're being attentive and things like that. So I'm making sure that I'm doing that, and just being one-on-one with her and just playing and things like that. I'm able to get on the floor with her. Is it full motion crawling and things like that? No, it's just me sitting there and pulling all of her toys to me, and we're just sitting and playing and whatnot, and that's how we do it. But it's like, it'll be that way for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks I felt like myself again. Like, I felt like, hey, I can get up, I can get going, we can do this kind of thing. I do think that I am going to be good. And give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna turn the light on over here. Oh, okay. So I think I'm gonna be good, and make sure I'm continuing to use my crutches, and not kind of do a thing where I'm using my leg and not using the crutches. It's the worst mistake ever. Stay on the crutches. Do not try and do a thing where you are hopping along and doing that, because you're going to be putting weight that shouldn't be placed on there until after you've done your physical therapy and things like that. So be smart, guys. If you're getting this surgery done, just don't slack off on it, and don't slack off on your exercises at home also for PT. I literally felt great after like 2.5 months, and I want to just put that out there so, you know, everyone knows. But yeah, so there's my, you know, info to my surgery. How I'm feeling great. I feel good. I feel like I'm happy I decided to get the other surgery. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're getting the surgery done, and why don't you wait, and things like that. And I'm just kind of like, if I wait, I've waited 12 years, like maybe longer, and I don't want to wait anymore, and I don't want my doctor to dip out. Like, he did great on the other side. I want it to be the same way. Like, so I made sure that I was cleared for the other side, to put full weight on it. So I ended up getting the other side done. And I didn't want to wait, and I wasn't going to. And had Arash, he's taken off 2 weeks to help me out. And it's been fantastic. Literally, you will literally need someone to help. Like, if you don't, you are going to, I just don't know how you're going to do, I don't know how you're going to do it, honestly, with just yourself. Like, you getting up and moving around, it's doable, but it's going to be uncomfortable. So I would make sure you have someone who's going to help you out, for at least 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks. And then you should be good to go. But I just wanted to kind of share some of the things that, some of the information from the surgery, and, you know, what it is with doing it with a toddler and things like that with you guys, and so that you guys knew exactly what Tay is going through, and letting my Taedars know about this surgery and what's the craziness behind it. So thanks so much, guys. I thank you so much for all of the support, all of the love and the shares. But I will check you guys on the next video. Bye.